As it turns out, my lovely assistant is Reverend Jennifer Kleitz, and everybody came to hear her, not me. So I'm ready for the message.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. I'm happy to be here and help you today. One of the things that when we moved our things out of here into the other area, Kay and I found all kinds of wonderful study materials, and one of the things we found was the original Metaphysics 1 and 2 by Ed Rabel, and these were based on, of course, the teachings of Charles Fillmore, and also this is what the Wings classes are based on. Instead of bringing the big old binder, I had ordered another edition of it online that Tony Bohm had edited and republished. And today's talk is about recognizing guidance. And of course, as it is that Wendy's spiritual reading was about guidance, part of Kathy's prayer this morning was about guidance. Such an important part of our divinity is keeping that channel open for guidance. Charles, in Keeping a True Lent, Charles writes, there are two ways to get understanding. One is to follow the guidance of the Spirit that dwells within, and the other is to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. These two ways are open to everyone. In Jesus Christ Heals, he writes, it is easier to seek the truth willingly and to be watchful and obedient than it is to be forced by some severe experience. Hard experiences are not necessary if we are obedient to the truth that saves us from them. Time should be given to prayer and meditation daily. We cannot grow without them, and no man who neglects them will successfully develop his spiritual powers. Ed Rabel writes, one of the most helpful realizations is making the effort to receive and recognize divine guidance. To remember that God always provides opportunities for choice and gives us freedom of choice. We are always given opportunities to commit our lives to Spirit. We are always free in these opportunities for choice. The moment we freely choose to commit ourselves and our lives to spiritual truth, a wonderful thing happens. The laws of the universe begin to work for us, and we learn to recognize divine guidance. One of the pieces of this is the silence. If the language of spirit is not sound, what is it? We have no word for it. Silence and stillness are as near as we can come. But we do have words for the language of spirit when it enters the human consciousness. But to hear it, we need to slow down and refrain from the busyness of the real world. I felt, this morning when I came in, I felt lighter, I felt more cheerful, and when I thought about why that was, part of it, as I was sharing with some of you all, is I watch these cow videos on TikTok, and they're lovely. There's a pet cow called Daisy, and she's a porch cow, and then there's Onyx, and he had a rough beginning, and so his mama is a human mama, and she gives him strawberry-flavored Lucky Charms before he goes to sleep at night, and friends in the neighborhood know they love treats. They bring him donuts, and I'm sure he's very healthy, but it's... And I also recognize that this past week, I have not been focusing as much on my phone, on other social media things that happen to raise my blood pressure just a little bit. And although I think maybe I'm trying to stay informed, it's not good for my mind or my heart. And it also detracts from my openness to spirit and guidance. When all of this is going on in my head, I can't get into the stillness. I can't get into the silence, even when I move into meditation. I start thinking about one thing or another, and then something from work, and it's practice. It's practice, and that's why we continue to practice. However, the actions that I do during the day reflect on my experiences in my meditation and my prayer practice. It seeps in, and it disrupts my peace of mind. And I can't hear the guidance, or see the guidance, or feel the guidance, however it comes to me. And sometimes it's so quiet. And you've been in those spaces where you're kind of not quite paying attention to the person you're talking to, and they're like, God is love. And you're like, what? God is love. Well, they're not going to shout. Divine is not going to shout. God is love. What? What is that? What did you say? What? I need to move? It is inordinately hard. It is difficult sometimes for me. I'm speaking for myself. I choose to have all these things to do. However, I also recognize there is plenty of time, and that's one of the things I really feel like I've tapped into with my divine guidance is time. There is plenty of time for me to take moments throughout my day and be still and be quiet and listen for guidance. It doesn't need to be at a set time. It doesn't need to be for a set length of time. There doesn't need to not be music or be music. In a certain room, with a candle, without a candle. Taking the intention of being in the presence with the divine. And not expecting something in return for this time. Well, if I sit down with you, then you've got to show me how to get this done. No. one with the divine. We share. It's like sitting down with a friend. They tell you what's going on. You tell them what's going on, and connect and catch up, support one another. That's what the relationship is. And it's available all the time. I really, really don't have to put it on my calendar to see if God's available for coffee on Friday. And that's wonderful. And it also can be a sense of, oh, well, he's always available. I'll check in later. No, it's important because, you hear about people who have those friends. They only call you up when they need something, right? Don't hear from them for, a couple of years. Oh, I'm in a bad way and I can do a lot. Can you think you can help me out with this? And I've got to give away my dog. Can you help me? I haven't heard from you in 3 years. It's not conditional. I understand friendship's not conditional, but friendship is a thing that needs to be nurtured. And our friendship with the divine God in each and every one of us is needing nurturing as well. For ourselves and for that God. Part of the guidance, emotions, and feelings from Jesus Christ Heals, Charles writes, words and sounds are attempts to convey a description of emotions and feelings, while by the language of mind, emotions, and feelings are conveyed direct. But again, you must transcend that you understand as emotion and feeling in order to interpret the language of God. This is not hard. It is your natural language. You only need to return to your pristine state of purity to achieve it entirely. The heart is the symbol of love, and love is the purest of feelings and human emotions. When the attention is given to the heart center, there is recognition of true feelings. This greatly helps the intuition in its work of translating pure feeling and knowing into recognizable guidance. When we're having our prayer and meditation time, and not necessarily hearing words, what are you feeling in your heart? When you're in that space, and you get a fleeting sense of some action you want to take, and all of a sudden you feel confident about it or hesitant about it. Some guidance that maybe more time is needed before you take that step, or now is the time to take that step and take that action. And it flows out in the manner of knowing you've taken one step, one action, it unfolds, and you know what the next action is to take, or you have to wait. Darn waiting. I don't have time to wait. Things to do, places to go, people I gotta see. I don't have time to wait. But then I'm gonna miss the sign. And I'm gonna go over there toward the lake, and I've never really been a water person, so why am I going over there? Because this road wasn't quite ready yet. They were paving it when I passed by. This is what guidance is about. Being present with it. Paying attention to our thoughts and our feelings and what we might hear, maybe see. It shows up in all different ways to us, what we're open to receive. But when I'm fixated on how it's going to show up, I'm going to miss the signs. Because we've all heard the story about the guy on the roof and their boat and the this and the that, and goes up to heaven, and God said, well, I sent you a boat and a drone and everything else. Right? So, our feelings, what we envision, what we might hear, what we might read later on. Because it doesn't always happen that it happens while you're in prayer or meditation. That is opening you up to receive the guidance when it's available. Could show up on a billboard, could show up on a little piece of paper you happen to see when you see a dime on the street. Ooh, look at that. Oh, there's that piece of paper too. I should go check that thing out. We get so busy, and we have so much going on, and so much information at our disposal. We're just flooded with it, overwhelmed by it. It's like those waves in the ocean. You've got to surf on it. Knowing and doing. You may know by simply holding the thought that you know. This is not egotism, but spiritual knowing. When you declare divine understanding, you sometimes meet your own old line of thought and are disappointed. Right then, continue to hold to your declaration of knowing. Judge not by appearances. Do not act until you get assurance. If you will keep close to Spirit by affirmation, the assurance will come. Will it come by voice? No. You will know through the faculty of intuition. Divine knowing is direct fusion of mind of God with mind of man. And in closing, Ed writes, we should always remember that knowing is a divine idea. It is synonymous with understanding, and it is one of our 12 powers. When any divine idea is affirmed sufficiently, it becomes our experience. We can experience greater knowing simply by believing it and affirming it. Believing it and affirming it. And it will become our experience. I encourage you, if you have not established some kind of time in your day for prayer and meditation, sitting in the stillness, in the silence, start with 5 minutes. Set aside 5 minutes. Join on the Zoom Daily Word. Join on Wednesday evening's prayer and meditation on Zoom at 7:30. If you don't want to sit through the whole thing, you don't have to. We go into the silence, we come out, you've left, that's okay. I don't take roll. All right? And I also want to express that during the prayer meditation, I don't put up a little sign that says, hey, we're meditation in progress. If you come in while we're in meditation, go into the silence with us. That's all that needs to be done. I recently did a little brief, if you want to go, about prayer and meditation before the prayer and meditation a couple weeks ago. I'm happy to go through that with anybody who is interested. And we learn more and more about prayer and meditation all the time. However, again, I encourage you this week, look for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And that's what we're going to do right now, about 5 minutes of meditation. Settle into a comfortable position wherever you are. Allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze toward the floor. Take a deep breath in and let it go completely. Once more, breathe in fully and release, letting your shoulders drop, letting your jaw unclench. With each breath now, feel yourself arriving more fully in this moment. There is nowhere else to be. Nothing else to do. Simply breathe. In this stillness, we remember a truth as old as our tradition. Within each of us dwells an inner light, the Christ presence, the indwelling wisdom that knows the way before we do. This light has never left us. It cannot be earned or found far off because it was never lost. It waits only for our attention. Bring to mind gently any question or crossroads you're carrying right now. A decision, a concern, a place where you've been asking, which way? There's no need to solve it here. Simply let it rest in your awareness like a stone set down on a table. Now imagine that inner light expanding, not as something you must strain to reach, but as something already surrounding whatever concerns you. It doesn't rush in with answers shouted from outside. It rises quietly from within. Divine guidance rarely arrives as a lightning bolt. More often it is a still small voice. A nudge, a sense of peace toward one path, or unease toward another. A knowing that settles rather than shouts. So we practice right now the art of listening. If your mind wanders to the question again, that's all right. Simply return to the breath, to the trust that the answer is already in motion, already finding its way to you in its own time. Let us affirm together in the quietness of our own hearts, I trust the wisdom within me. I am guided step by step. I release the need to know it all right now. As we prepare to return, carry this with you. Guidance is not a single dramatic answer waiting somewhere ahead of you. It is a relationship, an ongoing conversation with the divine presence that lives at the center of your being. You can return to this quiet, this listening, anytime you need to. It is always here because you are always here. Begin to deepen your breath again. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you are ready, open your eyes.
We have a special guest today, Teresa Tudury.
Testing, testing.
Thank you, Jennifer. You're welcome. So much. I have the men attending to me. My battles. My divine battles. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was so timely for me. And I'm reminded of a Joel Goldsmith story, World War II, that they were being bombed in London. and everyone was terrified. And he would hold prayer, they would hold the light. And finally, he just worked so hard on keeping his consciousness in the light. And there was a raid, what do they call it, and his whole neighborhood was wiped out, every house on the block. And his house was standing there completely intact. And of course, it was a great demonstration. But also, when we hang in there in the light, then we can be of service. It's so important. Sometimes I think, oh, you're so selfish. You're just all thinking about trying to line up with your husband. And I think, no, I've got to, because this is how we will help each other. So anyway, it's really great to hear you today. I needed it. I feel like a pineapple on a toothpick when I'm sitting there. There are folks who know the... Oh, shoot. I was going to do a completely another song, but I'm doing this. Okay. Oh, weird. All right. Yeah, guidance. Okay, whatever you want. There are folks who know the wisdom of the highway, where the heart and mind align to show the way. There are people you might meet who will offer you a seat on the bus, on the train. Though you may not know exactly where you're going, you'll discern the moment that you have arrived. There'll be friends waiting there who have also paid the fare and survived. By the power of love, the power of love, and it flows through everyone and everything. After coming through the dark, listen for the lark when she sings her welcome song to the dawn. Sing along. I would like to take this moment to thank you, even those whose face and names I can't recall. You have helped me all along with your visions and your songs. And to those who came, it seemed, just to hurt me, you brought a lesson I needed to learn. Life is like that, don't you know? If we're to see a lovely glow, some things must burn, in the power of love, the power of love, and it flows through everything and everyone. After coming through the dark, listen for the lark when she sings her welcome song to the dawn. Sing along. It's the power of love, the power of love, and it flows heart when she sings her welcome song to the dawn. Sing along. When she sings her welcome song, sing